Starting anew. Just let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm recording.
Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers. I am your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I'm Corwin Heller, again.
And today we're going to be talking about the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, matchups, predictions, and what we think about the teams going in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Before we get started, Corwin and I have been talking to the hosts of another sports podcast called Sports Trebuchet. Really great guys. The guys talk about the NFL, the AAF, the MLS, the Premier League, a whole bunch of things. They're a really amicable bunch of dudes, so they plugged our show recently, and we want to do the same to them. So before we get going on our conversation today, here is a snippet from the guys at Sports Trebuchet.
Do you like to talk about sports?
Do you like podcasts?
Do you like talking about professional wrestling?
Do you like medieval weaponry?
Then check us out at Sports Trebuchet on Twitter or listen to us, Sports Trebuchet on iTunes, Google, Spotify, or anywhere you listen.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Tim Anderson hit a home run? Yeah?
Another one? Is he on your fantasy team?
No, I just love Tim Anderson. White
Fair
Sox
enough.
just took a 10-8 lead.
Holy
God.
shit. Who are they playing?
Dude, Mariners, this game's been wild.
What?
This game has been... Why do you think I'm watching White Sox Mariners? This is the stupidest,
I don't know.
weirdest game. Because I turned on MLB TV, which, by the way, has been a revelation. I did not think
Right?
I could be watching more baseball than I already watch.
I have not gone a day without watching baseball since the season started, and I don't think I've watched... I think I've watched more games this year so far than I did in all of last year.
I've watched so much fucking baseball. It's been great. But yeah, I turned it on. The game's 9-8, and the White Sox had the bases loaded. So, like, I had to watch that.
I mean,
anyway.
I'm just watching this one just because I have both pitchers in fantasy, so might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be switching to the Red Sox Diamondbacks game eventually when that turns on. But up until then, I was going to watch the Rays game. I forget who they're playing. But, you know, because to root against the Rays. But this would have just looked so much more interesting. Anyway, sidetracked. So, Stanley Cup playoffs start next week.
Yes.
Pretty much every team is down to their last 1 to 2 games. So we have a very, very good picture of who's going to be in the playoffs. And it's a bunch of no surprise there. And, hey, look at that. So, you want to start with the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so... in the Metropolitan, our 3 teams are Washington, the Islanders, and Pittsburgh. In the Atlantic, our 3 teams are Tampa, Boston, and Toronto. Our wildcard teams are Carolina. And then we are recording this on Friday, April 5th. So Columbus has not clinched yet, but as of right now, they are in the top spot with 80 games played and 94 points. And the Montreal Canadiens are 1 spot out, but they have 81 games played and 94 points as well. So with the game in hand and a higher row, Columbus seems like they've kind of got this in the bag. They'd have to lose both games in regulation.
Right. So they're
much.
at the Rangers tonight, and then tomorrow they are at the Ottawa Senators, while the Montreal Canadiens have the Toronto Maple Leafs at home. So
Tomorrow,
I would put that firmly in the Blue Jackets' favor.
Yeah, especially because the Rangers really suck, and we're not trying.
Yeah.
So they'll probably get a win tonight, whether it's in regulation or overtime, doesn't matter. If that's the case, then Montreal has to win their last game in regulation. No, actually, if they win their game, I think there's no reasonable way the Montreal Canadiens could possibly make the playoffs. Because at 90, even if Montreal tied them at 96 points, and Columbus lost their last game, Columbus would have the higher row, so then they'd be done. They'd be in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so literally one win tonight against the Rangers, which let's go for that. I want a draft pick. Yeah, that pretty much seals the deal for that. So, okay. In terms of the actual playoffs, why isn't that an option?
Looking at like the bracket.
Yeah, it's an option on the app.
Yeah, I just search it. Search playoff bracket.
This is stupid. I'm gonna go to
I'm
gonna go to the.
While you do that, I'll pick up where you left off. Sounds good.
Yeah. Who's our first? Who's our matchups?
So we would have the Tampa Bay Lightning up against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Boston Bruins versus the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Lightning won the President's Trophy handily. The next closest team looks like it's the Flames, and they have about 20 fewer points, which is 10 regulation wins.
So much.
Yeah, or 10 wins in general. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, really, you could have put any team there, and I'd probably still pick the Lightning. So, I think the real question here is really just in how many games, because I just don't see how the Blue Jackets win this.
I'd say 1, because I think if the Blue Jackets fall behind, at all, they're kind of fucked. But I'll say 5 games for Tampa Bay.
I'm going to be super fucking mean and say it's a sweep. I mean, the Blue Jackets have not had playoff success in recent seasons, even against less stacked teams. And I think Lightning are going to want to make a statement win, as well as try to. I mean, what are the advantages to sweeping, in addition to murdering your opponents, is that you're done earlier and can rest up before the next series. I think the Lightning are going to want to take care of business. So I'm going to be super fucking mean and say 5 games is way more reasonable. But right. I'm gonna say a sweep.
I think the only thing stopping a sweep is the free agent acquisitions that the Blue Jackets had, and I think that they as a team are going to know, hey, we've been dog shit in the playoffs for so long. Let's fucking do it. Like, let's actually fucking do it with this team. And I think they'll win a game. I think that's enough for 1 win.
Do you think Torts is on the hot seat, at all? I know that they made the playoffs, but,
I mean, if they lose in the first round, I think he's done. I think if he can make it to the second round and put up a fight against one of these next 2 teams, I think he'll be good to go for... I mean, they might sign him to an extension at that point, but I think it comes down to how well they do in the first round.
I could actually even see them, if they go to 7 games and still lose, I could see them still keeping him. I don't think he'd get... If it's a sweep, do you think he gets fired in the offseason, or do you think they at least let him start next season to see how it goes? I don't. I haven't heard any rumors.
I think if they lose Panarin, they lose Bobrovsky, they don't have a fiery offseason, I think he's gone before next year, and they just,
You know what? That's actually a really good point, because I've always gotten the vibe from Torch that he's way more of a veteran dude than a youngster dude in his demeanor, especially with his time with the Rangers. So you're right. If they lose some veteran talent and then have to play young players, I could totally see that.
Oh yeah, I totally do.
No, that's a good point. Anyway, so shall we move to our next Atlantic matchup between the Bruins and the Maple Leafs?
Yeah. How do you see this going?
I really don't know. I'm really conflicted about this. The Leafs had a torrid, seems a bit too harsh, but they had a very lackluster second half of the season as compared to their first half.
I would say disappointing based off of the roster that they have, for sure.
Yeah, and it was all around, their power play sucked for a while there. Their offense as a whole sucked for a while there. Their goaltending sucked for a while there. Everyone's good. Everyone's good and talented, and everyone can play together, and there's good chemistry with the team. There was just weird patches of no performance from them, whereas the Bruins finished the season hot.
Right.
But so taking that, I guess I'd say the Bruins, which hurts because I hate Boston. But on paper, these two teams should match up evenly enough that 7 games isn't a far-fetched idea.
No, I mean, I'm going to take the Maple Leafs in 7 just because, you know what? The playoffs are a different story from the regular season, and I definitely think that they have a more talented team on paper than the Bruins. That, and I just don't like the Bruins, so...
You know what else is interesting? I mean, the Maple Leafs went into the playoffs last season for the first time in a while, right? Last season was their first playoff berth in a few years.
Significant amount of time.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it wasn't the first and not the second because I will do that. And they got rocked. Like, they did not have a good playoff series at all. And a lot of that was attributed to, like, you know, people were saying the young guys and they felt cocky and they didn't have the playoff experience. And, you know, it's the NHL, so you're not used to playing in a series until you get to the playoffs. So maybe just another year of experience being on that stage could help too.
I mean, it can't hurt.
They definitely don't want to get embarrassed again.
I mean, this is definitely a team that's going to be in this situation for a long time. So if they don't win it this year, just look for them next year. But I think they get it done in 7.
All right, so then let's jump on down to the Metro, where we have the Capitals going up against the Hurricanes. What do you make of this?
Man, I know the Hurricanes have put up good numbers this year, and Aho and Chuvo, I'm not going to bother pronouncing his last name. I mean, they've put up a good year. I just don't know how they beat the Capitals.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think that the Hurricanes front office cares if they beat the Capitals. No, for real, because I think that they showed enough that the Hurricanes front office is going to be like, all right, this offseason, we're making pushes. We're going to go after free agents. We're going to get it done, find players, make trades, do what we got to do, because we have shown that the pieces we have are good enough to get us here, and then we'll improve upon it. Because I actually think that the Hurricanes not having been in the playoffs for 10 years, while also being Stanley Cup champions this century, shows that they finally have a direction, and when they have that direction, would be willing to go all the way. So I'm also going to pick the Capitals, but I don't mean any disrespect to the Hurricanes, because I like the Hurricanes. And they're wearing their black alt jerseys in the playoffs. And have you seen those black alt jerseys? Because they're fucking amazing.
They're beautiful.
Dude, those are the
Absolutely
best
beautiful.
alts in the league.
Arizona's got them beat.
You think Zona's got to beat?
I love the Arizona jerseys.
I think it's 1 and 2, honestly, for me. They're 1 and 2.
Okay.
So because I was gonna say, thinking about those Zona, I was gonna disagree, but I was like, no, those Zona jerseys are nice. But yeah. All right, so both the Capitals. Let's go down to Islanders Penguins. I know you're quite biased as you're wearing your Penguins Stanley Cup champion sweater.
I don't think it's going to be a sweep by the Penguins. I think they win it in 6 games.
I just have no fucking clue, man. I really just have no fucking clue. I mean, I'm going to pick the Penguins as well. I just don't feel good about it. And not even like morally, because, you know, fuck the Penguins. It's more so just that throughout this whole season, I've never been able to tell how good the Islanders are. And obviously they are good. They have 101 points, and that's not easy to do. But they've just gone through so many changes so fast that I haven't been able to really make out where they're at. Trotz is a great head coach, and they've got great pieces all around, so they have potential. I think 6 games is fair, but I'll probably also pick the Penguins.
Man, like, I just don't know about the Penguins anymore. Like, it just seems like every time I look, there's just something absolutely plaguing them, and they just can't get past themselves. And it just sucks that, like, we have so much talent and we waste it so often. Like, we have Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, two of the greatest skaters, of our generation. And I just have no idea if they're ever going to make it back to the finals again, just because.
You guys just won back-to-back.
I'm saying I don't know if we're.
Years.
I just don't know if we're going to go back.
About this. You do not get to complain about this. It's such a bullshit complaint. And that was only like 2 seasons ago. Like, it just happened. Jesus. No, this is unforgivable.
So you're telling me that a team with Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby gets 3 wins, and then that's it? We're the greatest of all time. We can't complain.
No, but I'm saying you're acting like, oh my gosh, we're so far removed from this recent massive success. How will we ever get? It's like I'd rather listen to a spoiled ass Yankees fan complain about their championship.
You are a spoiled ass Yankees fan.
I fucking hate hearing it. But at least it's been 10 years since we've been in the game. You were there 2 years ago, and the year before that, and won both times. It's not a viable complaint. One mediocre. You're complaining about what you're saying is a mediocre season, and you still won 44 games and are going to the playoffs. This is not a good complaint. You're a Pats fan complaining about not going to the Super Bowl. So we have one alternate possibility here, which is that the Lightning play the Canadiens. And what do you think about that?
I think the Lightnings would sweep the Canadiens.
Yeah, I don't think it really changes anything, honestly. It doesn't matter in any way.
No, I mean, if that was
the Lightning will advance.
Either team, it would be absolutely massive.
But it won't be, and everyone knows it. All right, so then let's jump on down to the West. Or do you want to keep going to pick a champion? Do you want to make it like a bracket kind of deal?
Yeah, why
Who goes to the finals? All right, so we have. So, we're saying the Lightning are going to win. Let's go with the Maple Leafs because fuck the Bruins, the Capitals, and the Penguins. So I guess the Lightning would play the Leafs, right? And then the Capitals will play the Penguins again in the second round.
Again,
as is tradition.
Yeah. I don't think we're the Capitals' kryptonite anymore, so. That's going to be a really, really tough.
Although, how funny would it be?
How funny would it be
again? If you guys beat the Capitals in the second round the year after they win the Stanley Cup, and everyone's just like,
I would fucking
same
love
old
it.
Caps.
Oh, we're back to normal.
Yeah,
I would love it. I think this is going to go to 7 games. I'll pick the Penguins. I think the Penguins will win it in 7 games against the Caps.
I'll pick the Caps in 6. Just because fuck the Penguins.
Can't really
and
argue
I have no
that.
other real basis for it. These are 2 seemingly well-matched teams. I'm just going to go with the Capitals' relative more recent success, even though both teams have been super successful. So it's a really shitty Sophie's choice there. Although I guess Sophie's choice was also pretty shitty because that was the point of the movie. So, yeah. Don't listen to that anymore. So the Lightning against the Leafs?
Lightning.
Yeah, I don't know how you
honestly,
don't pick the Lightning.
It could be like, I'm not going to say it's a sweep, but like 5 or 6 games would probably be likely.
Yeah, I think we're simpatico on that one. I mean, yeah. And then you picked the Lightning and the Penguins, so...
The Lightning would destroy the Penguins. I don't think it would be very close either. Honestly, if they match up, I'd probably say the Lightning in 5 games.
Yeah, I picked the Lightning and the Caps. I'll give it to the Lightning again. I'll give it to them in 6, maybe, just to be generous.
Okay.
Or maybe more realistic might be a good word because you can't predict sweeps in every round of the playoffs. It's fucking absurd.
God, no. Picking the playoffs in general in hockey is crazy.
Picking the playoffs in most sports is fucking pointless. Yeah. But the Lightning are our Eastern Conference champions. Right.
Solid.
Yeah.
So surprising.
Yeah.
climatic,
Yeah,
whatever.
real original, shocking takes here. All right, the Central. We got the Predators against the Stars.
I gotta give it to the Preds. And man, I love that team. I'm gonna say 5 games. I'm not a fan of the Stars roster. Give it to the Preds. 5 games.
I'm actually a big fan of the Stars roster. I think that their offense is really fucking good. I think that their goaltending is good enough to keep them in a series. So I think this could be a team that makes an interesting postseason case. I'm not sure if they're good enough to actually beat the Predators, but I want them to. So I'll say Stars in 6. Because,
Fair enough.
Really, just why the fuck not? All right, we got Jets and Blues.
Give me those Jets. Jets, Jets.
I don't know what to make of this one either, honestly. Because the Jets had a very tumultuous season in parts. Like, Laine had a huge skid. Oh, thanks, pal. Whereas the Blues had an awful season in like the beginning and then just ramped that shit up at the end. So I'm kind of on the fence. I think I'd rather see the Blues advance just because I like them more for, like jersey reasons. Like, I don't actually care about either roster. They both have a few players I like, and most names I don't know. So, Blues in 7, because why the fuck not?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the Jets in 6, just because I don't think Jordan Binnington can win them, a series all on his own.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I just don't have faith in Tarasenko, being an offensive juggernaut for that team.
I love Tarasenko so much.
Yeah.
Flames sitting here on top of the West or the Pacific. Well, actually, the whole West. Flames Avalanche. What do you got?
Man, as much as I'd love to see the Avalanche win, I don't think that they're gonna. You know what? Fuck it. Give me the Avalanche. I think they beat the Flames. I think McKinnon.
I think the Flames.
I think Rantanen.
Cruise.
Yeah, nah. Give me the Avalanche. Avalanche 6 games. No game 7s here.
I'm going Flames in 4. I just don't think it's even going to be close. This is finally Calgary's time.
I can't sit here and pick the favorites in every matchup, which I've done pretty much the entire time. So I'm going to go with the Avalanche as my upset.
No, you picked the Penguins. They're not the lower seed than the Islanders and the Capitals.
No, the Penguins are the best. They're going to win the Stanley Cup.
And the Leafs are lower than the Bruins. So you're just a liar.
Fuck you.
I'm Flames clean sweep. Sharks and Golden Knights.
Give me the Sharks.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with that. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. Surprised is the wrong word. I think that the Golden Knights deserve an early exit after almost winning it all last season. Their fans need to know pain, and they haven't had that yet. So, a disappointing first-round exit, I think, is warranted. Plus, the Sharks are good. So, yeah, Sharks and 6, no game 7s.
Yeah, fuck game 7, man.
All right, so you picked the Predators and the Jets. Who do you pick as your winner between those two teams
I gotta
the
take
semifinals?
the Preds. I gotta take the Preds. I think they're just an all-around better team, significantly less streaky as the Jets. So I'll take the Preds in 7.
All right, I picked the Stars and the Blues, and I'm gonna go with the Blues again for jersey reasons. And not taking my zucchini from me. I miss you, Matt Zuccarello, so much. Fuck you, Dallas Stars.
So now I know why you like the Stars offense so much is because they have Zuccarello.
That's part of it.
Your boy.
He is our man.
Would you get a Zuccarello tattoo if he came back to the Yankees?
So the Yankees play baseball.
Okay, the Rangers
play
yes.
hockey. I'm also Jewish and won't get tattoos. So,
man,
no.
What a statement by Corwin Heller on that one. Way to go, pal. You did it.
Aside from your 247 tattoo idea, what would you get a tattoo of if it had to be sports related?
I plan on getting a tattoo the next time Penn State wins a national title, if they ever win a national title again.
I actually dig that a lot. I was gonna say that's kind of lame, but no, I actually do dig that.
Yeah. I don't know how long I'm going to have to be waiting. I assume it's going to be a while just because, it's college football and Alabama's going to win until Nick Saban dies. So he's got like 20 years left. We're good.
Alabama, what do you think happens first? Alabama not winning at all, or Alabamians stop fucking their siblings?
Oh, my God. That's not even close, and it's Alabama not winning again.
They'll never stop fucking their siblings.
All
right. All right. So you picked the Avalanche and the Sharks. Who do you think advances between those two teams?
I think the Sharks will win it in 5.
Okay. Yeah. I between those two, I'd pick the Sharks as well, but I did not pick those two. I picked the Flames and the Sharks. And I think that the Flames will ascend into glory, which is the Western Conference Finals. So then you now have the Preds and the Sharks. Who do you pick to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals?
I have the San Jose Sharks in 6 games.
Well, they've been there before, relatively recently, and they got a good team. I'd say that's pretty fair.
Hell yeah.
I picked the Flames and the Blues for the stupidest matchup possible. Corwin, I really want to sit here and tell you I'm going to pick the Blues. I really, really want to pick the Blues. I'm going to pick the Flames.
Can't do that.
I'm going to pick the Flames, in like 6. But I really want to tell you that I genuinely think the Blues could make the Stanley Cup final. But they won't. All right, so you have the Sharks against the Lightning. Who do you choose as your winner between those two teams?
Man, I want to pick the Sharks just because I like the Sharks. But there's no way I could pick against the Lightning this year. They are just too dominant. I mean, this has to be their year. They are such a good team, top to bottom. They have 2 of the best scoring threats in the NHL. They have one of the best, if not the best, goaltender. They have some dynamite defensemen. This is it. This is their year. They're finally going to win it. And it's going to be in 6 games.
So I have the Lightning against the Flames. I really want to pick the Flames because that team's so much fun. They went from worst to first, kind of they were really bad for years. They're like the Rams, kind of the NHL, where they were always getting ragged on for mediocre to bad seasons and going to be real scary next year. And then sure enough, the Rams get Jared Goff, and in a couple seasons they're going to this fucking Super Bowl. The Flames get Johnny Gaudreau, and a couple seasons later, here they are in the playoffs looking real fucking good, finishing on the top of their conference. And I really want to root for that. Plus, I think it's fun when Canadian teams have success in the league because they really haven't recently. It's been a rough stretch for Canadian hockey teams. So I'd like to pick the Flames for those reasons, but the Lightning have so many former Rangers. It's just so many of them. They've got Dan Girardi. They've got Ryan McDonough. They've got JT Miller.
JT Miller.
Yeah, they've got some other guy I can't think of that I know is there, and I just forget who it is.
Girardi.
I mentioned him already. We sent someone else down there. I know we did. I can't think of who it is. But he's there doing his thing. and if the Lightning win, we get their first round pick. So
Ooh, so you got to pick the Lightning.
Plus, they're really good, so I'm going to pick the Lightning. Yeah, if the Lightning win the Stanley Cup, we get their first round pick. If the Dallas Stars go to the second round of the playoffs, we get their first round pick.
Oh,
Guess
man,
where I
these
picked?
picks are
Guess
so,
where I picked
so
them to go?
surprising. Oh, the second round. So you really
actually
need the
forgot
Preds
about-
to just like collapse.
I actually forgot about that until after I picked the Stars, but yeah. So there's a chance that the Rangers have 4 first-round picks in the draft this season, which I'm very excited about. So, yeah, that's kind of what we got. We got the Lightning winning eventually. Different roads to go there. I'll write this up so that we can see how we did over the course of the playoffs. And give each other completely unwarranted shit for
Or
arbitrary
dry hand
choices.
jobs.
That's not going to happen.
Damn.
But
Is it because you're
but
Jewish?
yeah. No, it's because I don't like you.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It was a sad reason.
Oh. I'm going to get Ethan to start a podcast with me. He'll give me dry hand jobs.
I don't think he needs a podcast for that. Also, you seem really insistent upon getting these, and I'm not quite sure why.
Do you know how long it's been since I got like a nice desert Sahara dry hand job?
I really don't want to have this conversation in
All
any
right,
kind of
good to
way.
know.
So,
How are we friends? In all honesty, like, how does this work?
association mostly.
So
So
all right, go with your thing.
Just to tack on to the NHL discussion before we kind of wrap things up, because I don't want to stretch a conversation about the playoffs since we've already gone through all of the matchups and all the teams and whatnot. But I don't know about you, Corwin. I have a really, really fucking hard time keeping track of all the goddamn trophies in the NHL because they all have names instead of stating what they are. And I looked it up, and there's a lot more than I thought there were. And I thought it'd be fun to quiz you as to what these awards are.
Ah, fuck. All right. I think I know like 3 of them. So lay them on me.
All right, it starts off with the easy ones and then gets progressively harder. I'm just pulling this straight off the NHL website. So these are in order of, I guess, what people would expect. You ready?
Right. Yes.
All right, Corwin. What is the Stanley Cup?
It is the trophy for winning the, surprise, surprise, the Stanley Cup final.
Yes, it is annually awarded to the NFL playoff winner. Corwin, what is the President's Trophy?
The President's Trophy goes to the team with the most points at the end of the season. Team points, not goals points.
It's interesting because their website actually doesn't reference points. It says annual award to the club finishing the regular season with the best overall record, which I guess just translates to points. But I guess it also determines how you want to decide record because of overtime points. Anyway, all right, this is where it starts to get trickier. What is, Corwin, the Prince of Wales Trophy?
Wow, what a deep dive from the President's Trophy to the Prince of Wales Trophy. I want to say it's the winner of the Eastern Conference.
You are correct.
Yeah.
And I'm sure by extrapolation you can get this next one. What is the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl? Not trophy.
Wow.
Bowl.
Never even heard of it, but I'm going to go with the Western Conference champions.
It's kind of like how the AFC and the NFC have awards for the when you win the conference, and I think they do have names, like how the Lombardi Trophy is the Super Bowl trophy, but no one cares. Well, you Google that and then I'll pick up the quiz again.
Cool. The Lamar Hunt Trophy.
Which one's that for? AFC or NFC?
The AFC Championship.
Okay, what's the NFC? I've never even. Who is this person?
Lamar Hunt. Oh, I did know the NFC because it's the George Halas Trophy.
That name doesn't ring any bells for me.
George Halas was the owner of the Bears.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the
Oh,
letters on the
GHS?
side? Yeah, GHS
Yeah.
is George
Oh,
Wallace
I
Sr.
did fucking know that.
Mm-hmm.
And then who's the AFC guy?
Lamar Hunt, American businessman.
Sounds like owner to me.
Yeah, owner of the Dallas Texans, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, yep, there it is. Okay. All right, well, moving along. I think you got a pretty good shot at these next couple.
Cool.
These next few, actually. All right, Corwin, what is the Conn Smythe Trophy?
Ooh, the Conn Smythe. I don't think I'm going to get this one. The Conn Smythe goes to the... Fuck. Is that Rookie of the Year?
It's not Rookie of the Year. I'll give you a hint. Alex Ovechkin won this last season.
Oh, the most points by a player.
Nope, that comes up later, too. This is the playoff MVP.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Playoff MVP. What is the Hart Memorial Trophy?
Goes to the player leagues. Goes to the player deemed most valuable to his or her team.
Yeah. This is the regular season MVP trophy. All right, the Calder Memorial Trophy.
This is Rookie of the Year.
This is Rookie of the Year. The Vezina Trophy.
The best goalie.
Yes, sir. The James Norris Memorial Trophy.
The Norris goes to the best defenseman.
There it is. The Art Ross Trophy.
The highest scorer.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The Frank J. Selk Trophy.
Ooh, is this the best two-way forward? Two-way center?
Defense, yeah, forward who best excels in the defensive aspects of the game.
Got
the
it.
Lady Bing Trophy.
Fuck.
I did not know this one offhand.
Lady Bing. I know I've heard it. I want to say is it like sportsmanship? Something like that?
Yeah, player adjudged to have exhibited the best sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct, combined with high standard of playing ability.
I always remember this because he always acts like a lady, so he gets a trophy.
Oh, that's a good way of thinking about it. I have not heard of this one, at least consciously. The Jack Adams Award.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, this is very. This is the Coach of the Year award.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it.
Neither have I. Never come up. The Maurice Richard Trophy, or the more colloquial phrase, the Rocket Richard Trophy.
The most goals.
Yes, sorry, it took me a second. Yes, this is given to the NHL's top goal scorer. The King Clancy Trophy.
King Clancy?
Yep.
Fuck. All right, let me think. What could this possibly be? The King Clancy Trophy. Not the manager. General manager of the year. Why not?
Yeah. So no. So all right. Listen to this. This is the description.
It's so no.
It's given to the player who best exemplifies leadership on and off the ice and has made noteworthy humanitarian contribution. This is the Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Got it.
That's what this is. Yeah, so that's the King
Why can't
Clancy.
they just call it the Walter Payton Man of the Year award? Make it easier for everybody.
Yeah, I know. Slap Sweetness's face on it. It's all good. All right, so we're moving on to the Ted Lindsay Award.
Ted Lindsay. Fuck, I know this one. I don't know this one. Give it to me.
I also don't.
Can you give me a hint? Can you give me a hint first?
That's the thing. I don't know how to describe this. The Ted Lindsay Award is presented annually to the, quote, most outstanding player? end quote, in the NHL,
right,
as voted by fellow members of the NHLPA. So it's like the players' MVP award.
It's the players' MVP versus the Hart, which is the media MVP.
Okay, sure. Moving on. The William M. Jennings Trophy.
No clue.
It's a goalkeeping. Neither have I. It's a goalkeeping award.
Oh, the lowest goals against or the highest save percentage.
Fewest goals scored against with a minimum of 25 games. Yeah. This is
a guy who played 25 games and not 35 like some goaltenders. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, this one's going to be very, very straightforward. The Mark Messier NHL Leadership Award.
Is it to the best captain?
It doesn't specifically say captain, but yeah, given to the player who exemplifies great leadership qualities to his team on and off the ice during the regular season.
Cool.
And Messier himself picks the finalists and winners. along with like NHL personnel and other people. Oh, you got this one in the bag. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
General Manager of the Year.
Is it the Lemieux Trophy?
No, it's called the General Manager of the Year trophy.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, no, like you. How'd you fuck this up?
Because I wasn't expecting that.
I know.
I
it's
was
like
here like,
Lady
he won the trophy
Bing,
for best, manager
King
of the
Clancy.
Year. It's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, and then they just gave up General Manager of the Year. I'm sure this is going to be named after somebody. You know, it'd be cool if they named this after Steve Yzerman, since he's retired.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd like that.
'Cause, I mean, Messier has one after he retired. Ted Lindsay has one after not a lot of these, but some of the newer ones. Several of the newer ones are named after players. Or the Rocket Richard Trophy. So it'd be pretty cool if they named it after Yzerman. I think he deserves it.
When's Gretzky getting a trophy?
That's a solid question. I'm not sure. They will.
They should have a solid gold trophy for any player that breaks like 200 points or some like ridiculous number.
That'd be pretty fucking cool.
A 2 foot tall solid gold trophy of Wayne Gretzky.
Just a mold of Wayne Gretzky's, Wayne Gretzky's gigantic knob. There's 2 trophies left. There's 2 trophies left, if you can believe it. We have
I cannot.
The Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy. And yes, there are 2 T's in Masterton.
Masterton. Like the guy from That 70s Show and his brother from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, why not? What do you think this one is?
The Masterton Trophy, I think it's to the player who has the most own goals over the course of a season.
You mean the Patrick Laine Trophy?
Yes, exactly. God, that goal will go down in history as one of the best of all time.
Oh, it was so fucking sexy.
He fucking rocketed in there.
Dude didn't see jerseys. He didn't see team. All he saw was juicy,
puck.
Wide open net. So it goes. It's an annual award under the trusteeship of the PHWA, and is given to the player who exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. So it sounds like, I guess it's an off the field or off the ice jersey. Then, like a watered down version of the Walter Payton Man of the Year hockey, King Clancy. There it is. The King Clancy Trophy, I guess. Doesn't sound specific in any means.
Huh. Good to know. I will remember none of these. Wait, we still have one more, right?
We do. We still have one more.
All right, give it to me.
It has no fancy name, but I still challenge you to think of what the fuck it's for. It's called the NHL Foundation Award.
Oh, the NHL team that does the most for its community.
So no, and I'm now going to challenge you to think of how this differentiates from the last description I just read, because they have almost all the same words, just in different orders. So the NHL Foundation Award, awarded annually to the player, quote, who applies the core values of hockey commitment, perseverance, and teamwork to enrich the lives of people in his community. So they never ended the quote, by the way. It does say, open quote, who applies the core values, blah, 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 blah. Never closes the quote. So NHL, you fucking up.
It could be for anything.
Yeah, this is a choose your own adventure. So I think you're right. It does sound like a community award, but I don't know how that really differs from the Bill Masterton Trophy.
Is it different people voting on it?
It doesn't say who's voting on it, so I would guess so, since the Masterton Trophy specifically mentions the PHWA. But I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's all the trophies, man.
Like I was saying 30 seconds ago, I will remember roughly the ones I got right. I'll remember the ones I got wrong. They're gone from my memory forever.
So that's a total of 21 awards handed out every season by the NHL.
That's actually a lot.
That's a fucking ton.
Ooh, spicy.
Honestly, though,
yeah.
I'd love for NFL to do that shit. The NHL, the MLB has a decent number. The MLB's number I think is inflated by the fact that they give out awards for each league. But I'd love every league to have more awards. Oh,
I like having. Having like 4 awards for like, hey, this guy was pretty cool. Like, this guy's a good leader. Like, those are all right. Like, every league should have those. I just wish there was more awards for like positions and for like actual on ice performance, stuff like that.
What else would you I mean, their on ice awards are pretty specific though. What else would you give out?
I feel like, there's one for defensemen. I'd break it down between all the forwards, give one to each of those guys. The best goalie,
okay.
I would change the goals against to goals against, or like save percentage. I just think that's a much better stat. But yeah, just like little stuff, nothing major.
So I'm looking just out of curiosity at the MLB's awards site, and it just lists the winners and not what the awards actually are for, because there's this award called the Aaron Awards, which I'm assuming is alluding to Hank Aaron, but I don't know what it's actually for. But now I'm really fucking curious. What the fuck's the Aaron Award?
The Aaron Award goes to the best player in the NHL whose first name is Aaron.
So we switched over to the MLB because I'm pretty sure JD Martinez doesn't play hockey. It's definitely Hank Aaron, like for sure. Awarded annually to the best overall offensive performer in each league. The award was introduced in 1999 to mark the 25th anniversary of Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. Aaron, along with a panel of other Hall of Famers, determined the winners along with a fan vote. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I didn't know that was an award.
Wait, so this doesn't have anything to do with hockey?
No.
This is just like the actual Hank Aaron Award? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but they should call it the Hank Aaron Award, because calling it the Aaron Award is really stupid.
Yeah, fair enough. So, do you have anything else to bring up about the hockey playoffs?
Only that, like, if you're listening to this and you've never watched hockey before, now's the fucking time. Oh my God, now's the fucking time. You don't need to know
how I got into
anything. Yeah, that's how most people get into it. I mean, and that's fine. This is the time to do it, because as like easily as we made these picks, it's not like that. We did this for fun, as an exercise. Oh, the NHL playoffs are so fucking special. They're so fucking special. You don't need to be a fan of a team.
It's one of the best spectacles in sports. It really is.
It really is. It's such a sharp contrast to the NBA playoffs, which is like predetermined and barely worth watching. But the NHL is just the strict alternative to it.
It's so much better than any other playoff for any other major sports league. It really is. Like, it's just, there's nothing that even competes with the intensity and just everything that goes on the ice.
You can argue like specific scenarios in the NFL playoffs are more drastic, and specific scenarios in the MLB playoffs are more dramatic. But like overall, minute for minute, it's the NHL. And I say this as a massive baseball fan. Massive. I love. It's my favorite fucking sport. But just minute for minute in terms of stakes and action and the dramatism of it all, it's the NHL playoffs. It's so fucking good.
I think that's a perfect place to kind of wrap this up. There's really no place you can go from saying that the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best thing on earth.
Yeah, that shit's just just put it in my cereal and I'll eat it all up. Like marshmallows and Lucky Charms. Oh, yeah. Slut for those marshmallows.
Wow, what a way to just end this episode. I'm a
slut
for marshmallows.
Slut for marshmallows. So,
Josh, read him the information.
One more time, I want to give that shout out again to Sports Trebuchet. If you guys want to go check out their show after you finish up with this. If you want to reach us on Twitter, you can do so at JuicingPod, JuicingPod. If you want to hit us up via email, you can do so at juicingthenumbers@gmail.com. If you want to see the bracket of predictions that Corwin and I have made today, you can do so on our website, juicingthenumbers.wixsite.com/website, and you can follow along with how our predictions go versus reality as the Stanley Cup playoffs march forward. Until Thursday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.